Okay, welcome to this time lapse. Here I'm painting this church. It's Avaldsnes Church in Karmøy, Norway, and as you can see, I'm starting on this toned canvas. It is a linen canvas with the two layers of gesso, and over that I put a wash of raw umber with some turp, and I just let it dry for a day, and then I just start painting. As you can see here very clearly, that I basically draw first as if it was charcoal with my paint. I do not do any gazelles or gazelle or whatever you call it. I kind of start with the colors at the same time as I build the different light areas and textures and stuff. I do not care about doing that U-turn, which many people do. They actually start on a very grayish kind of surface and do detail first, and then they add the colors after the fact. I don't care about that. I think it's a waste of time. I have no idea why that should be a good idea when I can just go in here right away and start painting the sky, as you can see, and painting the details and adding colors and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe it's to save paint, maybe it's some people feel they have better control, but as you can see here, I just go straight into the colors and also adding the paint. Yeah, so what I use usually for painting a sky is Prussian blue. I use French ultramarine. I use a lot of kraplak or alzarine, as it's called, because it has this bluish tone in it, more reddish bluish, and French ultramarine is also basically in the more reddish tone. But I also use cobalt blue, and I also, as I said, use Prussian blue, because Prussian blue is an extremely good contrast to the alzarine and also the French ultramarine, because the Prussian blue is greener. I call it the blueberry color in a way. It has the same color as blueberry. If you spill some blueberry on some cloth or something, you can see it's a very strong blue with some greenish in it. Well, that's my experience anyway. Now in the foreground, I just use some blue black from Winsor Newton actually, and I mix that in with the same colors and different green, yellow colors that I mix it in with. I basically use the same colors on the whole surface in many ways, because I also use the Prussian blue in the dark places to tone it down. Or then I also mix it with some black and some French ultramarine and some kraplak, and maybe I also put into it raw umber, burnt umber. I also think the Van Dyke brown is really useful. And then as I progress, I start putting in more different blue, more yellows like cadmium yellow, lemon yellow, cadmium, and I basically try to build the painting as the nature would have done. As you can see in the sky there, I've basically done a lot of small brushworks where different colors are inside them, so I actually try to build a surface that feels like it is alive, and also having the colors not fight against each other but complement each other, putting them side by side. Usually I also mix much of the colors on the surface, so if I use basically, say I use Prussian blue, I can kind of green it up, or I can use reddish to tone it down. I can use different colors beside one another. As I also progress, I start building more thicker colors in the bright areas. So I also create this sculptural reality and a more 3D effect. I'm not interested in painting paintings that are kind of inside there. I want them to come out and get me in the same way as I actually experience reality. I experienced reality in very strong colors and also very sculptural. That is my thing, I guess. So the motifs, I also always exaggerate colors and also textures probably a little bit, so to get that 3D effect. In this painting, of course, it's a lot of dark in the foreground. It's not that much detail in the grass there and among the graves, but I try to kind of get all the different colors into it anyway. You might not see them, but the reddish are there, the greens, different greens and different blue and different yellows, and everything is kind of pushed into also the foreground, also in places that you don't actually see it. When I have done all the groundwork, I start, of course, to do smaller details. And as I told a young man today who was actually here and did an interview of me to some project he was doing in school, I basically, the closer I get to the finished artwork, the more time it takes, because you start out with this rough sketch, and then as you progress, the tonings, the brushwork, everything become kind of smaller and smaller and more focused, as you see now when I'm working with these small things in the church there. The Marisynol, that is a Bauta rock that is leaning towards the church. And this, the tale is that when that thing is actually touching the church, you have Judgment Day. So you had a lot of priests during the times chopping away pieces of that stone so it wouldn't fall into the church and start Judgment Day. That is quite funny, really, since that is what Christian actually waits for. So I don't see why they would try to stop it. You see some more close-up and how I build. There's also a longer tutorial on my YouTube channel, so I'm gonna be link in description and after this video. There you can see the whole process and see me talk about how I paint this. And yeah, so if you want to check out the full tutorial, please go check it out, and I hope you learned some from it. Give a thumbs up, leave a comment. Also go to my Patreon. If you want to support my work, you can do that on Patreon. And if you support me, I will support you by teaching you how to paint if you would like me to. So with this, there's a short segment where I show you the painting after this audio. So I hope to see you in the next video. And whoopsie daisy, here it is, the finished product. And it came out pretty well. So I should say that I'm quite pleased with this. Actually, I think it also looked quite well like the photo, as you can see here. So it was kind of a struggle, but I managed to pull it through and got it to, you can see all the textures and all the overpaints and all the things I've been doing lately. So yeah, with this, I hope you enjoyed it. Give thumbs up, leave comment, check out my Patreon, sign up for $5 and I will be very happy. So, see you in my next video. Okay, here you can see the textures and the close-up of all the brushwork. As you can see, I kind of knit them together as a carpet of thread, in a way, kind of a woolly way. Of course, these are very small, so yeah, you can see. Anyway, hope you enjoyed and hope to see you on Patreon, or leave a comment, as I did say, and hope to see you in the next video.